Hi, everybody. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Let's see, my mic is muted. Let's see where my mic could be muted. Hi, everybody. There we go. My mic was muted. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. If you give me one moment, I'm going to go ahead and get on to my own live as well so we can talk about all of the weather that's happening across the nation. We have lots of updates going on for you today. We have an update on Hone. We also have an update on what's happening with Gilma, Hurricane Gilma. My apologies. We're trying to get this going here. This is what happens when Jay isn't here. We'll start it over. 1, 2, 3. Hi, everybody. Hope you're all having a wonderful Monday. I'm certified broadcast meteorologist Erica Martin, and we are talking about all things weather, of course, here at Weather Co-op, where weather meets community. We are definitely interested in what's happening with Hone. We're talking about Hurricane Gilma and Tropical Storm Hector. Now, what I find interesting is that Gilma, I think, is going to be the most impactful, meaning the potential for a direct hit. We're going to look at a couple of spaghetti models that indicate that could be the situation. I never really saw Hone impacting Hawaii directly, but of course, things like beach erosion, things like swells, lots of rain in a short amount of time, all of that, of course, would lead to a big problem, right? But I just think that Hurricane Gilma is going to be more of a problem for the smaller islands of Hawaii, so we're going to look at that closely. Additionally, oh my gosh, you guys are not going to believe this, but we've got a cold front that's going to sweep on down and across the Pacific Northwest. So get ready for cooler than normal temperatures for them. Additionally, we've got this area of high pressure. We refer to it as a blocked high. I won't go into whether it's an omega or a difluent high, anything like that, but it's an area of high pressure that is blocked essentially. And we are going to talk about that because on either side of the high, we're seeing some kind of active weather. But more importantly, as this high expands eastward, east of the Mississippi, what we're seeing is the temperature is just really not going to decline, right? So we're going to see a problem there with those temperatures, daily high temperatures continuing to be very hot. So that is the story right now. Connecticut, thank you so much to everybody from our home state, my home state, Jay's home state. Chloe's actually from Pennsylvania. She's from Philly, so she's not a nutmegger. She's from Philly. But yeah, thank you so much to everybody who contributed and gave us some amazing footage of the hail. Unreal. I believe one of them measured like an inch in diameter. It was a pretty big one, and I believe Jay and his buddies were measuring it, something in that sense. But if you go to our page at Weather Co-op, you'll get more information. Don't forget, which reminds me, I always forget to do this, and I'm always getting called out on this. Go to our Weather Co-op page, please, across all platforms, and follow us. Be sure you join us on YouTube. Our YouTube page is kind of new. I'm not pushing it that much, only because, to be quite fair and quite honest, I really want everybody to go to the app as it releases, like in its full form, not just beta. So probably, I'm going to start pushing more people to YouTube, but I want you guys to know that we're on X, we are on Twitch, we are on Instagram and Facebook in the capacity of Weather Co-op, CO-OP, and then, of course, me, Erica, with Erica Martin. You guys know I'm always here to give you some great weather updates. Hi, guys! Hope everybody's having a wonderful Monday. I love me some Mondays. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on our current temperatures across the nation. Let's go east to west, right? So again, we're talking about the big story for you guys in up and along the East Coast, New England, Block Island, Martha's Vineyard. You guys got hammered with lots of rain and hail. So I hope everybody's okay there. Nantucket also got some heavy rain, and so pretty much everybody in New England got some really crazy rain today. Why is my radar off? Let's go ahead and add that baby on. There it is. All right, we got our radar back on. I don't know what happened. Somebody must have clicked it. By the way, Chloe is off today. Chloe is off. She took her vacation day. She's worked very hard over the past couple of days napping, and today was just an official nap day for her. So she'll be back probably tomorrow. I'm not sure if she wants to come out here again, but I'm sure we can tempt her with a couple of treats. All right, let's get started. Current temperatures right now for Boston, 71 degrees. New Haven, 71 for you. 78 for New York, Philadelphia 86, and Baltimore 78 degrees. So I want you to see something here. Do you see how like there's this area that's dry or empty in like the middle of the country? So like the Midwest, just about until like the mid-Atlantic region, you see it's like all dry, right? And then on either side, you see weather, right? So there's your blocking high or your closed high. So that's going to be of interest to us, and it's a little bit, to me, a pattern I want to look at over the next couple of days, because we want to know how strong is it. Oftentimes these steering mechanisms in the atmosphere, they either push it along slowly or it's just blocked, right? So that's why those of you in the middle of the country, east of the Mississippi, you guys have been dealing with really hot temperatures, but now it's going to continue over the next couple of days. So you're not going to get a break for the Midwest, unfortunately, and east of the Mississippi River. You guys are certainly going to continue to get hot temperatures. But today, New England, you guys got another dose of tons of rain and some hail. Roanoke, 84 degrees, Charlotte 84, Charleston currently in the low 80s, along with Jacksonville, mid 80s for Miami. Montgomery, 89, Mobile, 87, New Orleans, 89, Jackson, 93, Nashville, 92 degrees, Louisville, 89, and Indianapolis, 87 degrees, Pittsburgh, 86, Detroit, hello, 85 degrees, Chicago, 91, with that really strong southerly influence. Are you guys, let me zoom in here. Do you guys see this right here? Wow. Ooh. 86 degrees in Green Bay. Minneapolis, all right, so yesterday, I got to tell you guys, yesterday, I had a viewer on YouTube. You guys know I'm not really pushing our YouTube page because we actually have a lot of media that's inside of our app, right? Okay, so I'll push YouTube. But there was somebody yesterday who took umbrage with the fact that I was tracking a tornado, and then Jay took over and continued. It wasn't a tornado. Strong storms. One had an early rotation warning, and so we tracked it in South Dakota, and we had to because those are really important situations. Somebody was upset because they felt like I should stay a little bit more positive, but I don't make the weather. I report the weather accurately. Like, if you're going to just get sunshine, and if you just want sunshine in your forecast, go somewhere else. Somebody who can't forecast well and can just give you sunny icons, okay? Because that's not what we do here. And so I'm going to be a little bit more like just blunt about it, because to get a message from somebody who said, why am I being such a downer about the weather? It was an early warned rotation on a storm cell in South Dakota. So I'm going to track it. Again, if you want sunny forecasts, go somewhere else where somebody else gives you an inaccurate sunny icon. That's not what I do here. I track all weather, whether it's fair weather, sunny skies, hot conditions, cold conditions, dry conditions, wet conditions, or otherwise. Anything else? To the left, to the left, to the left. Well, no, this is your camera left. All right, this is left. Okay, so your camera right. I just want to make sure, because we got that little info yesterday, and I responded to the person. I did say to them, hey, listen, I can appreciate it. Definitely don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but when it comes to something like this, those storms were strong and they were fast moving. We saw crazy reports. We saw one report of a wind gust that was clocked at 80 miles per hour, which is stronger than a hurricane force wind, okay? So we had to go through that. So I'm just letting you know. So if you take umbrage with the fact that I am covering extreme weather or severe weather, we do accurate forecasting for everybody. I don't care where you are in the nation. I'm going to make sure I cover the weather for you. If you want sunny weather, go somewhere else where they give you inaccurate sunny forecasts. But here, we're going to give you the real deal. So as we look at what's happening across Minnesota, you can see here we do have some stronger storms back to the Dakotas. Also, some more strong storms moving through. And then as we move up and along the four corners, or this monsoonal influence, you see we still have some more storms moving into the southern central plains. And then on the west coast, really dry conditions right now. And at least we're seeing a little bit of a break for the Intermountain West and the Great Basin, okay? So that's really important to know. And let me see if I'm getting any comments here. Okay, nothing yet. Okay, so in that case, we're going to go ahead and just start talking about things like the wind patterns that we're seeing and also the weather patterns that we're seeing. So if you look up here over in the Pacific Northwest, right? So we're going to like take a look at Seattle, Portland. We're going to stay in this corner. Do you notice that you're starting to see that northwesterly push, right? So this is only if you're following us. So please be sure to do so on YouTube, X, Twitch, Facebook, and Instagram at Weather Co-op. You're going to see that northwesterly flow. So now we've got a cold front that's going to slide on down, and it is going to cool temperatures a bit for you guys up in that region. So like the northern plains, the Pacific Northwest, you guys are going to get cooler temperatures. So at least take full advantage of that, because it's been very hot, right, for the nation. It's summertime. Additionally, we're going to see that area of high pressure expand eastward. But as we focus here in the Pacific Northwest, you can see we've got some rain showers moving through portions of Washington state. And temperatures are mainly, well, at least for Seattle, in the 70s right now. Portland, 85. We've got Dallas at 88. Whitebird at 88. Boise, 81. Redding, 94. San Francisco, 75. Boise, Idaho. You guys had some wild weather over the weekend, right? So I'm glad most of you guys are safe. I hope if you guys had any wind damage, you guys are definitely able to report it to your insurance, things of that nature. And if you need an update, if you guys need like a little report from me for like your insurance agent, I do that. I'll do that for you at no cost. I just do that for you because I want you guys to know that I'm here for you. So just know that. All right. Hi guys. Hope everybody's great. Okay. So we're going back to, let's go to Los Angeles, right? We've got 74 degrees. We are here in Santa Monica. You all know that. San Diego, 78 degrees. Las Vegas, 97. Phoenix, no surprise here, triple digits for you. Albuquerque with lots of thunderstorms, 83 degrees. Amarillo, 90. Odessa, 92. Stiles, 91. Alpine, 85. Corpus Christi, 85. And Houston, 86 degrees. I'm going to go through our futurecast in just a bit, our hour-by-hour futurecast here at Weather Co-op. But I find this weather to be fascinating. And then we are going to go to Hawaii. Thank you, Joey. That's my Joey Malibu, by the way. He is like our top weather watcher. Cannot wait to see you. I've got so many amazing things to update you on. I have not called you. I've not called my family members. It's crazy. But thank you, Joey. Love you. Okay, so Joey is right. I give you guys the real deal. If you want sunny skies, go somewhere else. Okay, so we're going to start off here with our Weather Co-op hour-by-hour futurecast. I'm going to go back to our temperatures. I'm going to go back to all the alerts. But something that I wanted to make note of. So a lot of people were talking about Hone, and I wasn't hitting it hard, only not because I didn't think it was important. It's absolutely, right? It's my job to do so. But I just felt like it was going to stay south. Was there going to be issues as far as flooding is concerned? Lots of rain, major wave issues, yes. Beach erosion, always something you can expect. But I saw that there would be a bigger issue with Gilma. Hurricane Gilma, I think, is going to be a bigger problem for the smaller islands of Hawaii, and we're going to go through that very quickly. Behind Hurricane Gilma, we have Tropical Storm Hector. And so now we're starting to see the Eastern Pacific, like, fire up. You remember last year, the hurricane? Whew. On my wedding anniversary, it was like, wow, wild. So, yeah, right now what we're doing is we're tracking what's going to happen here. So I'm going to push this futurecast forward, right? So notice that the title is called Tracking Hurricane Gilma. That's going to be my concern. I'll update you on Hone. We'll talk about those nowcast situations. I want to get to what's going to happen in the future, because look what's happening here. So right now, let's see, Gilma is moving through the Pacific, Eastern Pacific, right? And she's beelining it right for the islands, right? So I'm going to zoom in here. Let's see if I did that enough here. If not, it'll just give me a minute and I'll go through it. Right behind that, we have TS, or Tropical Storm Hector. But do you see here, and please forgive my pronunciation, so Kaunakakai, Pukalanai, and Pearl City, and Keka'aha. So these look like they're in the line of something happening here, at least according to a few models here, including the HWRF, the CMC, I believe the UCMET, which is the United Kingdom's meteorological data, and the CMC is the Canadian model, which I think is, you know, a lot of people don't love the Canadian model too much. I actually do. I find it to be rather interesting when you're looking at like splitting the difference, and you're always looking at your averages, right? So or the mean. I've always liked the CMC personally. But I know how to use it in the capacity of where and when it needs to be used, right? So that's one that we really like. We also do love the HWRF, which is the Hurricane Weather Research and Forecasting Model, like a ridiculously genius group of meteorologists. So just amazing. Okay, so you can see here, I'm actually going to go ahead, if you bear with me, I'm going to open up this graphic because I don't like how close it is. It's not close enough to me. So here we're going to go in. I'm going to pull it in a little bit closer. And I could give you something that's in real time, but I want to give you something that's going to allow me to dig in a little bit deeper. Okay. So if we zoom on in, again, you guys have to be on our weather co-op pages. Kekaha. The HWRF, which is interesting that this one would be kind of giving you a straight shot over, is essentially indicating that you'll be impacted. Now, at that point, Gilma will be weaker, right? She will be weaker. She won't be a hurricane. But the fact that she's still going to go right over, potentially over, it looks like Kekaha and possibly Pearl City. I think that that's worth mentioning, or at least the outer periphery of like where Pearl City is, according to the HWRF. I think that's very important. And you might be like, well, Erica, why do you find that this is a more important model for the spaghetti plot? Simply because it's the Hurricane Weather Research Forecast Modeling Agency, and that's a specific group of meteorologists who specifically focus on hurricanes. Like the group of meteorologists that work on the HWRF model solutions, and they again are saying that Hurricane Gilma, while she will be weaker, she's gonna go right over. It looks like Kekaha. Also included, while not the HWRF, it looks like Pearl City. And let's see here. Pukalani is forecasted by the CMC, so the Canadian model. I'm not gonna put too much on that one. Again, I like the CMC or the Canadian model as an average, or sometimes I like it as the mean of an average. A lot of fancy math that goes into that, but sometimes I like to break it down and then use the CMC as an extra bit of flavor. But in this case, I'm going to go with the HWRF for Hurricane Gilma that's currently moving through the Eastern Pacific behind what was Hone or Hurricane Hone that just skimmed the islands to the south, still brought them tons of rain. But I think that Hurricane Gilma, while weaker, making an impact on Kekaha as a low, I think that would be a problem for Pearl City as well. So that's going to be the hurricane that I'm going to be watching, Gilma. Okay? Mark my words on that one and come back here and check me to make sure that my forecast was right. I never shy away from anybody checking me on my forecast. Okay? So just an idea there. But you can see as I widen out and go into the Eastern Pacific Basin, right? I mean, the Pacific is just so cool, right? Because you got the Eastern Pacific, Central Pacific, Western Pacific, right? So in this case, the names are squished together in this graphic, but you can see here that the hurricane weakens, right? And as she weakens, she continues to veer north, like west-northwestward. And it just seems to be enough of a hook, enough of a movement there, right? North-northwestward. And then veers off kind of like a northeast. It kind of just does one of those loop-de-loops, like a little bit of a shoehorn. That has to do with Coriolis, right? So Coriolis, just know something. Whenever we say a tropical storm or a hurricane tropical cyclone, they actually cannot initiate, or they can't exist 5 degrees north and south of the equator, because you actually need Coriolis to maneuver it and to make it do what it does. So in this case, I'm going to say that I'm more concerned about what Gilma could do to Pearl City and Kekaha, because of what the HWRF model solution indicates. And again, that's a hurricane weather research forecast model. It is a brilliant group of meteorologists that NOAA established this group, I believe, like in the early 2000s. And then they just got together, and these people, like, you want an amazing forecast as far as hurricane goes, this is where you want to be on, okay? So I might drop this into this this live, or I can do that onto our YouTube page. And again, our YouTube page is kind of new. I'm not really pushing it, but if you guys we'd love for you guys to join us there. We're putting a lot of our new programs on there, but I got to tell you personally, so that you guys know, I really want them in our app. So I'm just kind of hanging tight a little bit. But we have a couple new features we added to the app. Oh my God. I don't even think Joey Malibu, if you're still on there, Joey, I don't even think you've seen these. Wait till you see this. Okay, but once again, we're talking Gilma, and then we're talking what's going to happen possibly with Hector. So why don't we do that? Why don't we just go ahead and see what, I like a hair in my mouth. Okay, I want to see what Hector might be doing here. Let's see what Hector does. Okay, Hector, let's see here. We're going to remove that. Hector doesn't seem to be doing much. So, as I mentioned, we had Hone, then we had Hurricane Gilma, which will weaken and impact the islands as a weaker tropical cyclone. Perhaps it looks like maybe a tropical storm, perhaps weaker. We're just going to leave it there. But what we see here is, let's get a single storm track here of where is, oh, that's why. Wrong. We've got Eastern Pacific Hector. Here we go. I'm going to go a little bit wider. Do you see Hector? Are you guys looking? So we tracked Hone, then we went to Gilma, and now we're on Hector. Do you see where he is? Right? Are you guys looking at that? So that's important to know, right? So let's see. Just located west-southwest of the southern tip of the Baja California Peninsula. We're not expecting this to do much more, but we still have to watch it. I think what's interesting, and I made a mistake here, I had a legend that matched up with the temperatures of the water. I'll be sure I add that the next time we meet up. But these sea surface temperatures are in the low 80s. Do you see this, like the brownish area there? Low 80s. Way too warm. And so you all know, anytime we get something like that, we're going to have to track it, right? But luckily, there's not a lot there. Let's see if we can see what else could be there that could be preventing it from let's see, surface, dust. I would like to see, like, what could be the thing that's not allowing it to really ventilate and do what it does. Could be a lot of the shearing as well. Let's add some winds on there. Might as well just look at the winds and see what that has as well. I believe I might have the wrong model. Let's do our European model here. Okay. And there we go. There are my wind particles. I wanted to see that quickly. I'm going to pull this out here, guys. Do you see? So I'm going to gather that there's probably going to be some shearing there. Not good ventilation for what's Tropical Storm Hector. There is Gilma. Can you see her here? If you're looking at us right now on our Weather Co-op page, which I hope you guys are, follow us on Weather Co-op on YouTube and everywhere else. If we move over to Gilma, and then we get our tropical plot of Gilma, you can see here that basically Gilma right here, can you see her? Okay, right there. Okay. We believe here, I'm pretty confident, that she will impact Kekaha, Pearl City, or at least just to the, like, northeast of Pearl City. Possibly, no, I think that's about right. And again, the Canadian model suggests Kaunakakai and maybe Pukala'ani. Okay, so everybody else is not really favoring much else, so I would go with the HWRF, okay? So we're going to close this up, and we're going to head over to some of our other models, because I think I spent enough time on that one, and I have really sent all of our prayers to everybody in Hawaii. We're going to make sure we track Gilma for you, but just know that that is who I'm really keeping an eye out for right now, Hone, and then, of course, Tropical Storm Hector, though I don't think Tropical Storm Hector is going to do too much. Okay, now let's go to our weather alerts. Yesterday at this time, we were tracking some really strong storms moving through, oh, well, look at that, moving through portions of the Dakotas. Here we go again, South Dakota. And as I said yesterday, somebody decided to make a comment that I focus too much on storms, right? And he wanted me to focus more on sunshine. I'm like, okay, well, no, because you're clearly okay if you are experiencing sunshine. People who are out here, especially agriculture, farmland, everybody loves their meat and their dairy. So that you got to keep in mind that when we're talking about the Dakotas, these aren't states that we can just ignore. We have to take care of them as well, because a lot of the agriculture, the farmland is what's impacted, especially in South Dakota. So yesterday we were tracking some really strong storm cells that were moving through. We caught some storm cells that were clocked with wind gusts at 80 miles per hour. Unreal. Wyoming got slammed yesterday. Utah got slammed for the past couple of days. Today's probably the best day in the past couple of days for you guys. They got some really strong winds, as I was talking about, because of the monsoonal flow. Monsoonal flow is still impacting, as you can see here, portions of the Four Corners. And then if you look in the Midwest, so if you're looking right across the Midwest there, you see that really kind of blank area. If you actually follow this rain, right, like these lines of storms, and you go up across, right, you're going, okay, I'm going in through the desert Southwest, up into Central Plains, and then it's like the Northern Plains, and up and across the UP, and then I'm coming down into New England. If you guys are not on our weather co-op page, you're missing this, because I'm really showing you guys what's happening here. Do you see that in the middle, it's like dry, right? Okay, so there's some action happening across the Gulf states. But for the most part, area of high pressure, it's locked in. So we call it a blocking high. And then on either side, do you see that there's weather happening across the Four Corners, happening in New England, portions of the Mid-Atlantic? Very, very indicative that this area of high pressure is sluggish. It's like making its way. It's migrating eastward, it's expanding eastward, and as it does, it's going to continue to keep those really high temperatures, dangerously hot conditions for the Midwest, Ohio River Valley, Mississippi River Valley, Tennessee Valley, Appalachians, Mid-Atlantic, the Southeast, the Northeast as well. You guys are going to get slammed over the next couple of days with really high temperatures. But as you can see here, we are tracking some severe storms. All right, and this one is of interest to me. This one that's moving through Rapid City. And as I said yesterday, we had some really strong storms as well. And whomever, what was your name, Marty? You don't want to hear about storms? Head on somewhere else, because right now we're talking about storms. We're tracking storms. We've got severe storm warnings that have been issued by the National Weather Service. And these storms right here are really strong. And they're not as fast moving as they were yesterday, but same cities, right? Wanblee, Martin, moving through Mission, just east of Ogalla, Pierre. You guys are about to get slammed. Was it Crestbard, Aberdeen, Oneida, Miller, Wessington Springs, Presho. You guys got some strong storms yesterday. Chamberlain, Fort Thompson. You guys are in the line of some more storms right now. So I'm going to do a couple of things right now because I want to see what exactly do we have here for our storm tracks. I'm going to gather we certainly have some hail, really strong wind speeds and wind gusts. Should I add some local storm reports? I'll do that for the past couple of hours. I'll only do for the past 3 hours because there's just way too much. If you looked at all the wind damage and all the flooding that we had from yesterday and the hail reports, it'd be overwhelming. So I'm just going last 3 hours, all in South Dakota. Tornado reported. Tornado reported. Let's talk about this right now. Tornado reported where? Let's do a query. Come on, guys. Why am I not getting this here? For the love of... Really? All right, so there has to be a warned cell. Looks like it just moved east, though. I'm not seeing anything. Let's pick up something here to give us a better idea. This is over the past 3 hours. Let me go over the past hour to see. It looks like there was a report of a tornado. Past hour? Nope, so past 3 hours. So this is already moved well east of this area, which looks like it is called, let's see if we can see who got that tornado. Again, until the National Weather Service observes it and confirms it, we cannot say. We can say we had a report, and then once they confirm it, then we can say this. Okay, so 3 hours. Let's do a quick query. Interesting how it's just not populating. All right, let's go back to this. Here we go. This must mean, all right. Yeah, thunderstorm wind gust. Okay, so this could be very well, if you guys are looking on this with me, very well could be that it was reported. Something was reported, right? And you know when people say, a tornado touched ground. No, a funnel cloud touched the ground. Once it makes the ground, it's a tornado. So probably somebody saw something. They reported it. Maybe a storm spotter, and it's being observed and it's being investigated. Because we just see over Wilmar that this wind gust was indeed confirmed at 62 miles per hour, okay? And I want to go over something that we went over yesterday. I hope you guys didn't miss it, but if you did, no worries. We will definitely go through that right now again. When we're talking about a wind gust that's clocked at 62 miles per hour, we're talking about a whole gale force wind, which would indicate considerable damage to structures, especially roofs. Small trees may be blown over and uprooted. So this is going to tell me that I don't think they believe that this was an actual tornado. Let's see what happens. Let's clear this up. Yeah, I gotta wait. We gotta wait, okay? So we're gonna check this guy out. Let's look at the city. It looks like it's just northeast of Lauriston in Minnesota. Let's try to see who else we can get here. What is it? Lauriston. Okay. Okay. So Chippewa County. Anybody know anybody there? Just maybe check. Okay, it's called Kirkhoven. All right, guys. Kirkhoven, Minnesota. All right. It's in Swift County, Minnesota. Population 795. Oy. Okay, so that's probably what's happening is it's a small town. They're going in to assess it. I hope you guys are looking at this right now on Weather Co-op on YouTube. Make sure you follow us, like, subscribe. We've got more updates. To be quite honest, we're going to be doing most of our stuff within our app. But for right now, we'd love for you to just join us any way you can because we love giving you guys an update. We love all things weather around here. As I mentioned earlier, my trusty assistant, Chloe, is off for today. She took her dog nap. She is not in the mood. So Kirkhoven, right now, we are seeing a potential tornado, right? And it looks like if we put our radar loop, it was the past 3 hours. But interestingly enough, nothing is really populating. So this might, because it's a town of 795. I mean, yeah, it runs up U.S. Route 12, 100 miles west of Twin Cities. So it's probably food looks good there, actually. There's a cute little dive bar. It looks like really cool. Okay, hey, I might actually visit that. You know, I'm one of those people, by the way. Okay, please tell me if you would ever join me, because I was thinking about this. I was thinking about doing a really fun meteorology tour, okay? Tell me if you would join me. I wanted to go to kind of like these divey spots, like spots that you're like, because everybody's always like, why are you tracking these tornadoes in the middle of South Dakota in the farmland? I'm like, aren't you intrigued? I'm intrigued. I love everything that's in America. I love visiting things. Like I told you guys, I've never been to Glacier National Park, and that's where I've always wanted to go. Was it Whitefish, right? I've never been there. Wanted to go there. But I mean, look at this. Kirkhoven. Looks like they may have had a tornado. We don't know. The town is too small. 795 as of 2022. But are you guys in? Would you guys want to do kind of like a random tornado tour with me? You'd have me, CBM Met, real meteorologist, and you'd have Jay, who's tracked over 185,000 miles in tornadoes. But we've been thinking about doing a little tour, a little weather tour. But I'm thinking, where should we do it? Because I wouldn't want to chase tornadoes with anybody. People have asked. Somebody offered us a lot of money, by the way, to chase tornadoes. I'm not doing it with anybody unless they're a scientist. I won't track tornadoes unless you are a scientist. I'm sorry, I just won't do it. It's too risky. But I would be willing to put a tour together, guys, and visit like 20 cities, maybe like in a region here, like something that's not crazy. Maybe we would take 1 or 2 trucks and we just go to these cities, where small cities across the United States where we've seen tornadoes. For example, right now we're looking at Kirkhoven, Minnesota, population 795, but they have a picture of this diner with really good fries. So like, maybe it's worth it. Hey, Mike! Hi, mwah, mwah, mwah. Miss you. You guys got slammed with weather, right? Ooh, I hope you're safe. Say hi to everybody. Miss you. Mike Stringfellow, guys, the best engineer on the planet and just the nicest person ever. Okay, so back to Kirkhoven, Minnesota. We're trying to see if this indeed was a tornado. We don't know. It's located 100 miles west of Twin Cities. Population 795, and if you're interested, elevation just over 1,000 feet. Okay, so because we're not really seeing an update on that, but we're seeing this update on this wind gust, it tells me that maybe somebody saw something and they've got to really examine it. With a town that small, they're just examining it. And once again, guys, tell me if you'd be interested in a tour of tornadoes, that small towns that tornadoes may have struck, USA. That could be a really fun weather tour for Weather Co-op. And we'd probably have to take a week, right? Couple days there. And then if you wanted to leave, you could. But I think a week would be really fun. Like, we probably put 2 or 3 trucks together, and then we just go to these random cities that like had a tornado, right? And they're like small cities though. And then you just have so much fun. Because one of the things I can tell you is this. I promise you, you guys know how hyped I am, right? Naturally hyped up. I drink coffee, but I actually don't drink as much as I used to. I just do a lot of yoga, a lot of meditation, and I just always think like good thoughts, right? But I promise you, when you go to these towns that are small and you're like, there was a tornado, it's so intriguing. Like, it's so magnificent to like listen to the quiet stillness of these small towns, right? So if you'd be interested in a tour like that, I'm in. I'm game. You know me. Oh, we're getting hail reports. Whoa, 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 Minneapolis. You guys had that severe thunderstorm warning, and we're tracking the potential. Could we see any early rotation there? Maybe. We're going to track that right now for you. We're going to keep you updated. Don't see it, but they're getting some good hail. Let's see. So this is going to be categorized as an impact range between 2.6 and 5.0. Let me take my... Oh, sleepy eye. Looks like you may have had a tornado over the past hour. Let's go ahead and clock this right here. Funnel cloud reported. Okay, funnel cloud reported in Sleepy Eye, Minnesota. But we're seeing a line of storms marching their way. I'm telling you, they are serious too. Across into Minneapolis, Lakeville, Mankato, just to the north, Annandale, Forest Lake, Baldwin, lots of hail being reported. Let's see if we can get the size of the hail, guys. Can we? Can we get the hail size? No, but we are seeing that impact range between 2.6 and 5.0, which would tell me that it's maybe quarter size, perhaps even an inch in diameter, especially if we hit like a sorry. I'm wearing my little shoes, my little Manolos, right? They're so cute. Like just in time for fall. But they're pointy, so I can't sit on them. You know why. Okay, so let's go back to this. So severe thunderstorm warning in effect. We're seeing some hail that's being reported. We're definitely seeing some wind damage. Let's click on this really quickly. Let's see what they're saying there. Thunderstorm wind damage. Deep Haven in Hennepin County, Minnesota. pretty famous county. All right, let's see. Report via X. So somebody on X reported that they saw multiple trees down. Correction. They saw, not that they saw multiple trees down and numerous power outages. Time estimated from radar. Let's see. All right, let's do this. How about we add one of our contours here? I had one on yesterday that was for power outage, I believe. Okay, let's just go ahead and see here. Let's do our power outage, power outage, power outage, power outage index. Here we go. If you guys are with us on our pages here, I'm going to actually use an interesting model here. I'm going to layer these things up. So in case you guys don't know, I've created a weather app, right? And I have a wonderful team, including somebody named Jose Gutierrez, who is an angel investor, but he deals a lot in like distressed assets, right? So he just found it fascinating when it came to weather, how a lot of assets are distressed because of the weather, right? And then we have, of course, Jay Dubensky, who you all know is like the tech guru and also is a certified storm chaser, Skywarn storm spotter. We also have a media expert, Anna Maybury, who's doing like a lot of updates on our IG. She's got a lot of experience in the field. She also studied for the Skywarn storm spotter. But we built an app that is really catered towards making it really fun and engaging for the user to track things. Because like I told you guys, somebody was upset that I was just focusing on thunderstorms and the potential for tornadoes. But I was like, listen, we got to cover that, right? So in this app, everybody gets to choose what they want to look at, right? I love it. I love it. It's like Burger King. Have it your way. Okay. So, yep, we see that the severe thunderstorm warning has been expanded. I might take that off, and I might actually use, please hold, I want to see absolute vorticity. Let me click off of this for 1 minute. It seems to be stuck. Okay, we're going to go back now. Let's see. Let's see if we can. Can we? All right, I might have to use this here. All right, looks like we are having some technical difficulty. Sometimes it does this with all the data that's coming in. We can let it go for a few minutes. If it does that, we'll be just fine. But in the meantime, we're talking about the severe weather that's moving through portions of the Midwest, the UP. So across the northern plains, the Dakotas, and into the UP. I'm certified broadcast meteorologist Eric Martin. We'll be back in just a little bit. Don't worry. We're just going to go ahead and reboot everything. That's what we call technology around here, guys. Never be offended by that. But we're definitely going to be tracking that for you very closely. And we're going to keep you updated on all things weather in just a bit. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back in probably... we'll just do a quick reboot, have some coffee, and we'll come back. All right? Bye. Mwah.